Good morning, classmates. Our lesson for today is all about budget planning using comparative analysis. Please open up your book on page 363, chapter 12 of Financial Management Fundamentals by Eugene F. Brigham and Jewel Houston. So, what is budget? Budget is a description of financial plan. It is a list of estimates of revenue to and expenditures by an agent for a stated period of time. Normally, a budget describes a period in the future, not the past. So, what is budgeting? Budgeting documents how the overall plan will be executed month to month, and typically includes estimates of revenue, expenses, expected cash flows, and debt reduction. So, what is planning? Outline the company's financial direction and creates a model of expectation for the next 3 to 5 years. So here, may a table about sa corporate budget for the fiscal year 2020. Sa dalom sini, may capital budget, kag operating budget. So ano ang capital budget? Kag ano ang operating budget? Ang capital budget, amo ni sa mga capital expenditure. For example, a company ma-loan or ma-borrow money sa bank kag ma-invest siya sa other infrastructure. Long term siya nga investment, while the operation is a short term nga siya nga expenses or revenue nga it will last only for short period of time. So we're talking about short term and long term investment. So may mga tools ginagamit unang capital budget. Pag ano ini sila, nakip diri amo ang NPV or the net present value, the internal rate of return or the IRR, the return of investment ROI, and the payback period. Long term siya nga tools ang ginagamit sa capital budgeting, while the other is the tool in operating budget are the following: the liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, profitability ratio, which is gitakol ano sa ngamon niya upod. So the comparative analysis on operation budget planning also focuses on the operation. Typically, operating expending items or the OPEX. A comparative budget also includes actual and estimated expenses to identify areas in which the budget has met and those in which you are overspent. So may tools ang gingamit amo ang liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, profitability ratio. It will provide with the best information for decision making. A comparative budget should also be compared actual and forecasted expenses. So what is capital budget? Also known as investment appraisal. It's the process by which a company determines whether projects such as investing in research and development, opening a new branch, replacing a machine, are worth pursuing. So meaning ang capital budget, pang long-term investment isa. For example, mag-open nga sang bago nga branch. Need na sa sang plenty of cash. Research and development, capital expenditure na siya. Replacing a machine, which is naga-promote sa imong nga production. Kinahanglan gyapon ang capital budgeting. A project is worth pursuing if it increases the value of the company. That's true. A project typically add the value of the company if it earns a rate of return that exceeds the cost of capital. So kinahanglan naton nga mag-invest po, kinahanglan naton nga utang. So muna nga kami ara kita capital budgeting. Itakol ta ni karon. So capital expenditure is an outlay of fund which is the firm would rely on to generate stream of returns enough to cover the exceed the initial investment spending. And capital budgeting therefore would be the process to review, assess, and select the business project that promise to be the most rewarding in the medium of and the long runs in the other words. In other words, it is the long-term planning and evaluating capital allocation which is expected to generate cash inflows over the period of time. So, capital budgeting may risk in isa. It is address the issue of strategic long-term investment decision. What else? Capital budgeting can be defined as the process of analyzing, evaluating, and deciding whether resources should be allocated to the project or not. Process of budgeting ensure optimal allocation of resources and helps management work towards the goal of shareholder wealth maximization. So these issues address questions. Will the investment return a profit? How does profitability for this investment compare to the other option? How long it will take for the investment to pay for itself? Pinatanan nga pamangkot sabto naton dugay-dugay. So the financial metric that help address these questions include the NPV, IRR, ROI, and the payback period. So ano ni sila? Sa nasiling na, ang net present value may ara sa formula or NPV is equals to summation of cash flows over N 1 plus interest close parenthesis and N. So the net present value so nasiling na is a method of ranking investment proposals using the NPV or the the present value which is equal to the present value of future net cash flows discounted at the cost of capital. So anong pag-intindi niyo sa dire? Ang NPV nagasugid sa aton how much a project contributes to shareholders' wealth. The larger the NPV, the more value of the project adds. And added value means a higher stock price. Thus, kung ang NPV naman is the best selection criterion. So, we use the data sa project S&L. The project S&L comparative analysis. So, sa nakita nyo, which mean, ang S stands for short and ang project L stands for long term. So, notice nyo, initial investment 1,000, ang sa project L 1,000 man, ang inflow o cash flows na nagsulod sa year 1 500, sa year 2 400, and the 3 for 300, and the 4 year is 100 also. Ang sa project L naman is 100, 300, 400, and 675. So the total inflows in project S is 1,300, while the project L, the total cash inflow is 1,475. So paano kita karon maka-derive sa aton nga konklusyon? Which return ang gamito naton? Which project ang gamito naton? Ang S bala o kunang L? Sa project S, if you notice, the net present value sang in 1 year, sorry, nagsulod ang 500, the net present value is 454. The net present value naman sang year 2 is 330. Ang present value sang 300 naman is 225. And present value sang 100 sa 4 year is 68.3. While the NPV sang long term, sang L is 90.91 to 97. 4247 naman 0.93 ang sa year 2. Hanggang sa year 3 is 300.53. Hanggang sa year 4, 461.03 ang iya total nga net present value. So, anong pansindi nyo dire? On the comparative analysis for this project SNL, the NPV, you would prefer to choose project L, for it will give you a higher cash return. Kaya NPV ang total summation, no? Since ang atong formula is NPV is equal to summation of cash flows over 1 plus interest of 10%, no? Kada ang number of years. So ang total sang NPV niya is 1,078.82. Less mo ang investment niya 1,000. Less mo ang 1,000. So the total is 78.82. Same with project L. 1,100, the summation of 90.91 to 47, 300, and 461.03. 1 less 1,000 equals to 100.4. Usually na maselect kita sang pinakataas, which is muna ang project L. So we have done with the NPV, no, net present value, which is ang long term naton ang gamit ang ginpili. So how about naman ang internal rate of return? The AIR considers what discount rate will be needed to produce an NPV of 0 for the project. For example, the internal rate of return sa project 1 is the IRR is 30%, project 2 the IRR is 10%, in the project 3 is the IRR is 20%. So the internal rate of return, the discount rate that forces a project NPV to equal to 0. So sa manipot na tinaga sa pinamulong, ang IRR is a trial and error siya. So magsilingit ta nga NPV, net present value. Kung halimbawa nag-utang kita sa bangko 10%, ang hurdle rate is 10%, dapat ang aton IRR is mas higher sa 10%. Since ang hambal to gina nya ang NPV naton should be equal sa 0, kaya ang 0 na sa nasiling na trial and error sa IRR. So sample ari sa table ta. NPV ta kagina is 1,000 na NPV. Ang NPV naman sa long term is 1,000.01, which is mayara kita 10% na hurdle rate or rate of return. Sa IRR naman niya dapat taas ang makita nyo 14.489% ang sa project S na sa, which is 13% naman niya 0.549 sa project L. So IRR is a trial and error procedure in finding the NPV equal to the total investment. Dapat halimbawa nag-invest kita 1,000, abutan ta ang 13 or 14% nag-equal sa 1,000 sa NPV mo, ang 14% na sa nag-equal lang saya sa NPV mo nga, which is 0. Dapat 0 yun siya. Nag-equal sa 1,000 mo nga investment. So, sa further explanation, why is the discount rate causes a project NPV to equal 0 sa special? So, nakita natin na ang project S, 14.489 na sa IRR niya. So, silindere, IRR is an estimate of a project rate of return. If this return exceeds the cost of fund used to finance the project, the difference will be bonus that goes to the firm's stockholders and causes the stock price to rise. Project S has estimated return of 14.49% versus a 10% of capital, so its bonus is 4.489. So taas sang 4.489 sa 10% nga interest cost of capital. So IRR sa project L naman niya has estimated return of 13.549 versus to 10% cost of capital, so its bonus is 3.549. On the other hand, if IRR is less than the cost of capital, the stockholders must make up a shortfall which hurt the stock price. So kung magnubo gali pagid sa 10% ang imo IRR, karga di konsensya sa imo stockholders. They have to fill up the missing pieces. May invest laliwat. So dapat taas ang aton nga IRR. So nasiling na ang IRR ta is a trial and error na siya nga sa formula. So may ano lang to, ang formula nga magamit naton is to replace the sa NPV gyapon, ma-base kita gyapon sa NPV naton nga formula. The next is the return of investment or ROI. So nyo pa intindi what is ROI, return on investment formula. This tools is already discussed in the profitability ratio topic. So proceed sa payback period. What is payback period? So kung nakita nyo, based man tagyapon sa atong taginang table, so nakita natin ang cash inflow no sang year 1 sa project S. Try to see no, to look at the monitor. Ang year 1 500 plus 400 sang second year, pag 300 sa third year, which is total of 1,200. So already have a payback here. So the payback period of project 3S is 3 years. Meaning, di ba nag-invest kita 1,000, sobra pa ta ganit 200. So meaning sa 3 years mong operation sa project na ina, kagain ka pa sang $200. Meaning nakabalik ang imong investment sa year 3 lang sa. The same with project L. Sa year 1 naka-receive kita sang collected kita sang payback is 100. Tapos ang second year 300, bali 400 na. Plus 300, 400 pagid 800 pagyapon. So sa 4 year, sa ika-4th nga year naka-receive kita sang 675. So meaning the payback period, it will last on 4 years sa long term na saya or sa project L. So nakita nyo ang difference. Kung nakita nyo ang difference, dako ang gina-receive ta sa project short term, dako nga cash ang na collect naton, while sa project L naman gamay nga cash iti long term sama. So pero kung gamiton naman naton ang discounted cash inflow, so ang NPV gyapon gamit ta. Kung makita nyo sa atong table, ang NPV niya, net present value sang kwarta, 450, 4.45. Sa second year naman is 330.58. Total is 785. Ang year 3 naman, ang NPV is 225. Total is 1,010. So, using the discounted cash inflow, the payback period of this project is still 3 years. So wala pagbago sa project S. So what about project L? Sa project L, na receive kita 100, which is discounted cash inflow is 90.91 plus 243 47.93 is equals to 338.84 plus 300.53, total is 639.37 plus 461 is equals to 1,100.4. So using the discounted cash inflow, the payback period for project L is still 4 years. So anong pag-intindi nyo sa nandito? Anong pag-intindi nyo? So meaning, ang payback period sa NPB, ang payback period sa cash inflows niya, the same lang yapon, wala pag bag-o. So magsiling kita net present value sa pinaka-intindi na ginaton. Nga kung ang kwarta mo subong 1 million, wala mo sa gintandog, wala mo sa pabangko, pag abot sa pulo ka tuig, ang imo 1 million, hindi na, will not still 1 million. Is either siguro ang value sang kwarta mo is 700,000 or it's either 600,000. Amo na ang time value of money, which is itakol man sang previous discuss ang amon upod. Amo na nga ang pambalsang maestro sa una, kung ang kwarta mo, sulod mo lang sa imo kahit hindi sa magdamo. You should invest para magdamo. So the different measure tools provide different types of information as your basis in your comparative analysis. All should be considered when capital budgeting decisions are being made. For most decisions, the greatest weight should be given to the NPB, but it would be foolish to ignore the information provided by the other criteria. Thank you and good morning.